Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something called cartographic syntax explained.
Right, mapping language.
Exactly. Think of it like getting a detailed blueprint for sentences, our mission, to really grasp this framework, the key ideas, without getting lost in the weeds.
That's good.
So let's jump in. What's the fundamental goal of this cartographic approach?
Well, basically, cartographic syntax says sentence structure isn't just flat. It's deeply hierarchical.
Hierarchical.
Yeah, picture a tree diagram,
Yeah.
but with lots and lots of branches, especially above the main verb. Each branch has a very specific job, a function.
Functional jobs. Okay, I get that. And I read about breaking down the CP layer, the old complementizer phrase.
Yep. Yes. So traditionally, CP was kind of catch-all, right, for things like if or question markers.
Uh-huh.
Cartography says, no, it's much more specialized. Like, think different departments. You've got ForceP.
ForceP.
Yeah, it signals the clause type. Is it a statement, a question, an order, that kind of thing.
Okay, like the overall mood of the sentence.
Sort of, yeah. Then there's TopP for the topic, what the sentence is about.
Right.
And FocP for focus, the part you're really emphasizing, the new or important info.
So these aren't just lumped together. They're distinct layers. What's the evidence for these finer-grained bits?
It largely comes from looking at different languages. How they order words is, well, really revealing.
How so?
For example, some languages always put the emphasized element, the focus, right at the beginning of the clause.
Always. Like consistently.
Consistently. And that pattern strongly suggests there's a dedicated focuses landing spot, a FocP, right up high in the structure. It's these kinds of, cross-linguistic regularities.
Interesting. So that variation we see everywhere.
Yeah.
How does cartography handle that?
It suggests that while languages pick and choose, they might use only a subset of all the possible functional projections, or maybe they arrange them in a slightly different order.
Like Lego bricks, different combinations.
Pretty much. Same basic inventory of potential layers, but different blueprints for putting them together.
Okay, now what about minimalism? Linguistics often strives for simplicity, right? Fewer rules, fewer structures. This sounds detailed, maybe too detailed.
That's definitely a point of discussion. How does this incredibly detailed map fit with minimalist goals?
Yeah.
Cartographers would argue that, well, this level of detail is actually necessary to capture what's really going on in language. You need these specific layers to explain the facts.
So complexity is justified if it explains more.
That's the argument. And, some researchers are trying to bridge the gap, finding ways to make these rich structures compatible with minimalist ideas. It's an ongoing conversation.
Got it. What about things like adverbs or discourse markers like however or so? Where do they slot into this map,
Often they dock onto specific functional heads. Their position reflects their meaning.
for instance?
Well, an adverb about time, like yesterday, might attach to a tense-related projection. A discourse marker like however might link to a higher layer dealing with connecting ideas across sentences.
Okay. And can you have, say, both a topic and a focus highlighted, maybe even multiple topics?
Oh, absolutely. The model is flexible enough to allow for multiple topic layers, multiple focus layers. Sentences can be complex, right?
Yeah.
You might want to set a scene, topic, and then highlight something new within it. Focus.
Makes sense. It sounds quite powerful, but you mentioned discussion. Are there major criticisms?
Sure. Like any big theory, some linguists feel it proliferates functional heads too much.
Too many layers makes the grammar seem overly complex.
Oh, that's one angle, yeah. Is all that structure really psychologically real? But still, it's hugely influential.
Can we see it in action? Like, how does it explain something basic, like asking a question in English? Is she leaving? That inversion.
Right. Subject-auxiliary inversion. In cartographic terms, the auxiliary verb is, in your example, moves up.
Moves up where?
It moves to one of those higher functional heads, likely within the ForceP area, because that's related to marking the clause as a question.
Ah, so the is goes high to signal question.
Exactly. While the subject she stays put or moves to a different spot lower down, it maps out that movement quite precisely.
Okay. And you mentioned specific languages earlier. Italian, Hungarian. Why were they so important for developing these ideas?
Well, those languages, among others, show things like topic and focus really clearly in their grammar.
How?
Italian, for instance, has flexible word order in the left periphery, the start of the sentence, where topics and foci often appear. Hungarian is famous for how word order around the verb signals focus. These languages provided really clear evidence for dedicated positions.
So they were like natural laboratories for seeing these structures.
In a way, yes. Their structures made these proposed layers seem much more concrete.
Okay, fascinating. So wrapping up, the main takeaway is that cartographic syntax gives us this really detailed, layered map of sentence structure.
Exactly. It helps explain not just how sentences are built, but also why languages vary in the ways they do. It's about the hidden architecture.
A deep architecture. Right, that's our deep dive for today. And here's something to chew on. We've talked about language having this intricate, layered structure. Where else do you see that kind of hierarchical organization? Maybe in biological systems, or even how music is composed. Something to think about. Thanks for joining us.